Module 4 is the last part of this course. It's a short text written by Professor S. Mohan Raj. Professor Mohan Raj retired as a member of the Department for Training and Development, School of English Language Education at EFL University, Hyderabad. He is interested in materials production, teacher training, and using technology for language teaching. In this text, Professor Mohan Raj responds to a question posed by us regarding the nature, scope, and potential of digital literacy. He explains how the digital media is changing the way we speak and write. I'll read the text first for you. After I finish, please read it one more time. The activities and tasks on the worksheet in this module consolidate everything we've looked at in this unit. So please remember to complete this worksheet after you listen to the text. What you see on the screen is the question that we asked Professor Mohan Raj. And here is Professor Mohan Raj's response. Technology is here to stay and we cannot wish it away easily. Let's briefly look at what is technology in layman's terms. Any new invention is technology. Writing was technology that said goodbye to rote learning. The spoken word could be recorded in script for transmission. This was an innovation and a technical innovation at that. Writing required tools such as parchment and stylus to begin with, and these have now developed into paper and pencil, pen as the case may be. This is also fast fading these days, giving rise to digital writing pads. We need to accept this change, nay, we've already accepted this change. Stylus to pen was a major revolution, and the pen itself has undergone a broad spectrum of changes. Dip steel to fountain pen to ballpoint pen to a variety of other writing tools. Printing has ushered in a lot of change in our thinking, education, and development. Let's not spend too much time on listing all these innovations. Digital learning is another offshoot of technology, and how permanent or transient is it going to be is anybody's guess. But we are living with it today and we need to accept it, check whether we can harness it to suit our needs rather than be critical of the differences it exhibits to the conventional modes we are familiar with. What are some of the changes that have been ushered in by digital communication? Let's look at these changes under three headings as follows. A. Structural changes, that's grammar. B. Lexical changes, that is changes in vocabulary. And C. The pace of communication. Let's begin with structural changes. The sentences are no longer formal and they do not necessarily adhere to the rules of grammar. I take this as a process of simplification which is in keeping with the developments all around us. For example, the computers we are using today are far more easy to operate compared to the computers of just a decade ago. This is because the computers have developed or evolved. They have become smaller, cheaper, and easy to use without having to have a lot of technical knowledge. A language evolving undergoes a similar process. Think of ancient languages, their script, and today's modern languages and their script. You see a consistent process of simplification as the languages have progressed. This point becomes evident when we see the writing system. The writing system began as hieroglyphics using the pictures of animals and objects to convey messages. This slowly developed into pictorial ideographs leading to syllabic writing. During the final stages of its development, the alphabetic system was arrived at, and today this is giving place to digital systems. Grammar systems have also undergone similar simplification processes. In India, most languages adopted Sanskrit grammar to describe their own languages. Initially, it seemed to work, but gradually people discovered that their languages did not behave like Sanskrit. For example, the case system in Sanskrit is not applicable to many Indian languages. Similarly, the number and gender systems also differ from Sanskrit. These are just a few examples. But what does simplification mean to the common users of language? Simplification enhances the efficiency of language functions, primarily that of communication. The outreach gets extended. What are some of the structural simplifications we find? Look at the greetings that are exchanged. Hello, how are you is reduced to hi. Thank you and sorry have disappeared and are replaced with cool. Use of abbreviations have increased. Example ASAP, PFA, etc. There are many more, and perhaps being a person of the ancient generation, I am not familiar with many of them. Here are some mind-boggling abbreviations that I came across. With some difficulty, I found out what they mean, and here is just a sampler for you. These abbreviations, which were perhaps invented for personal and secret use, have now become universal. This reminds me of a variety of communication that existed among the pirates known as argot. Are we getting back there? The structural differences are spread across both spoken and written varieties of languages, thus making the language more accessible to many people. It has become a leveler. Let's look at lexical variations. Look at some of these words: dude, nerd, take a leak, etc. These words mean little to the people who are 50+ years of age. These words have come into circulation about 2 decades ago, and they are gaining strength, though it is restricted to teenage groups and some young adults. However, there is a promise of these words catching up on the social medium, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Today, social media, especially WhatsApp, is not the exclusive of elite educated class. The domestic help, skilled labor and others use it functionally. They have become adept at it, for it has provided an impetus to their work. This is another example of how digital language use is a great leveler. Along with this, we also see an increased use of emojis. This is in itself a newly coined word. Emojis cross the language barriers and connect people across classes and language groups. This certainly needs to be accepted as an advantage of digital communication. But the moot question is, in using emojis, are we progressing or going back to the days of hieroglyphics? Let's take a more common example. Appa, Amma, Papa, Mama, Achan, etc. have become obsolete words. These are replaced with Mummy and Daddy universally. The domestic help, the driver, the attendant in your office, and think of any such person from the category of EWS, they are all addressed as Mummy and Daddy. Any adult male is an uncle and an adult female is an auntie. These have been made popular with social media and gained further impetus from the digital communication. Has this not been a great sign of leveling the differences? A happy change at that, and let's accept it. Here are a few words I would like to add which have been used constantly on WhatsApp, Facebook and other such mediums. Now we come to the pace of communication. Digital communication is instantaneous. You can call the attention of the plumber and explain to him the problems in your bathroom, a leaking tap or a non-functional shower by sharing a picture. You can have the repair work attended to faster than earlier days. The entire society is moving towards digital world. Today, the spoken and written words are adequately supported by visuals, either actual pictures or representation of objects through diagrams and other means. This makes communication faster and spread across the globe more efficiently. Given these factors, is it not right for us to rethink on the uses of digital communication? David Crystal, the best-known living linguist, has accepted this as a process of language development. He says, "This is a greater unifying force among the global dwellers. Do we accept it or brush it under the carpet? The choice is ours." Thank you for listening to me. Signed, S. Mohan Raj. I hope you've had fun doing this course. As we said right at the beginning, learning English communication doesn't end here. As a last activity, I would like you to revisit all learning objectives. Remember, we started each module with a set of lesson goals and mark those you know well, those you would like to practice more or learn more about, and also list new ones you would like to learn. This is a good starting point, and this is a good ending point for me. But before that, I would like to acknowledge the support of the team that helped me ideate, design, implement, and deliver this course. A large team of teachers, students, and technical staff is involved in the development of this course. I'm deeply indebted to each of them. Detailed acknowledgements can be viewed on the acknowledgement panel. I hope you enjoyed the course. Feel free to email us your comments, suggestions, and responses. Thank you.